I'm going to teach you how to tie the Hoh Bo Spey fly. Very simple pattern. It's easy to tie, very few ingredients, and the most expensive item is probably going to be the feathers. So this is what the fly is going to look like when it's done. This is a pretty beefy version. I'll try to do the next one a little more sparse. And let me go through what you need to tie this fly, and then I'm going to show you how to tie it. So of course we need Regal vise, pedestal. I have a right bobbin shorty ceramic with 12/0 silk thread. We're going to first start off with Senyo's articulated shank for steel-headed salmon flies. Then we're going to add 2 strands of Berkeley 30-pound Fireline and Smoke. Then I'm going to add chartreuse ice dub, flat diamond braid in purple, guinea feathers, chartreuse. I'm going to do Marabou in purple, Marabou in chartreuse. We're going to add in some Senyo's Freckled Predator wrap, some Doug's Bug electric scale, and then we will finish it off with a Lady Amherst center plume. So first we need to put our 40mm articulated shank in there, developed by Greg Senyo for our friends at the Flyman Fishing Company. And I'm going to start wrapping this. This thread is very thin and incredibly strong. You can do several wraps and it will not fill up the body of your fly. I'm going to put the fire line here. Start wrapping all the way up to the top. Double these back over. The last thing you want is to hook a rock or a tree and have the fire line pulled out. I'm going to take a little bit of Fly Tires Z-Ment from Wapsi. Add that on. I'm tying this fly for y'all because Urban Lumberjack on Instagram asked if I could tie the fly. Now that's what most intruders look like. I'm going to add a second strand, and this idea comes from Brett McRae. He is with Chagrin River Outfitters. Wrap up, double back. And notice that the body of the shank is still pretty thin because of the 12/0. I wrapped all the way up to here, so when we have this finished, the body will be even. You're going to do a big dubbing ball or butt of ice dub. I'm not going to use a dubbing loop because frankly this thread is expensive. I don't want to make a big loop out of it. Sometimes if I do want to do a dubbing loop, I'll start off with a different type of thread and then pick up after I make the dubbing loop. There you go. You have your badonkadonk made of ice dubbing. We're going to take the strung guinea fowl, pull these back, and tie it in just like you would a hackle on a woolly bugger. Leave that there because I don't care. I'm going to take this. You can certainly do purple ice dub here, but I'm going to use this. It's a little cleaner, a little faster. I don't want to do a 30-minute tutorial on a easy fly. I'm going to wrap this up. Come on, right. There we go. It's a little faster than using dubbing, a little neater. You can find this thread on the Orvis catalog. Go in your Orvis store. If they don't carry it, they can do special order for you. Now we're going to palmer this up. Make sure when you buy your guinea hen that you go through the pack and make sure there are some bigger fibers in there. That will allow you to do wraps all the way up Senyo's shank. You want to know how I know where to tie off my fire line on this? Right behind there, Greg Senyo. That's his suggestion. Should go right around that. He actually takes off the spring. Alright, So this is going to be a sparse one. I'm going to take my purple Marabou. This is a purple and chartreuse motifed fly. Notice how long and webby these fibers are. This is when I want to dance in the water to entice that steelhead to bite. Now I'm tying this based off of a pattern I got from Chagrin River Outfitters about 4 years ago. This little guy. I had no idea how to tie these. There were just a couple of tutorials. Had to look online a lot. Granted, I do live in Northern Virginia where we don't have steelhead, and the shops, we really don't carry a lot of steelhead flies. So I had to kind of teach this one myself, and this is the version I like. It's quite successful for me. I'm going to tie that off there, and I still have plenty to use on a second fly. Wet your fingers a little bit. That helps separate the fibers. Lays them down flat. Okay. Now we have our purple tied down. We're going to get our chartreuse. This is from a 1 ounce pack from Umpqua Feather Merchants. I picked this up at Bob Marriott's. Sorry the microphone doesn't sound too great. If I start doing this on a regular basis, I will get a microphone to wear. So we're going to palmer this about 3 wraps. I said this is going to be a sparse version, whereas the last one was beefy. And the reason we're not going to show the last video, well, that's because I kept the materials laid out here, and you could not see, I'll go 1 more wrap, what I was doing. The actual fly was obscured by a pack of purple Marabou. I spray painted my table white to help things be a little more visible on my end. There we go. Alright, so now we have the fly is basically done, but we need to add some bling to it. So we're going to start off with Senyo's Freckled Wrap. Take it out. Now you could wrap this all around it, but I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to cut off individual strands and tie those in on the top, the bottom, and the sides, just like this. 1, 2, turn it. And I can do this multiple times with the thread because it's so thin. It does not fill up the head of the fly. So we did one at 12 o'clock. This is 3 o'clock. Now we're going to do one at the 6 o'clock location. My hands are filthy because it's the halftime right now in the Ohio State game, and I am making a baguette for tonight. My new thing is baguettes. So we can give another shout out to Dennis with his culinary skills. All the bread he posts made me want to start tying. Alright, now we'll do the 9 o'clock. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Next up is going to be Doug's Bugs. Now this is the best, they make the best Crystal Flash I've ever seen. This is it. If you ever find Doug's Bugs Crystal Flash, let me know. The only place I've ever seen it was out in Oahu at Nervous Waters. So I'm going to take my scissors. I have a little cut there. I can pull them out, which makes it all the right length. And again, I'm going to add these in on the top. So the benefit of doing multiple takes of this is I end up with more flies. Do it on the side. I'm going to be fishing these up on the Salmon River with a Orvis 11-foot 8-weight Helios switch rod. Skagit short line by Rio. A nice fat long leader. And I will have a swivel between my tippet and my leader. And then I will have this tied on with a Matsuo America hook, which I'll show you in a moment. So that's done. Now we're going to take our Lady Amherst plumes. You have short and long. We're going to go long on this one. I already have some pre-cut, so I'm just going to show you how to pick these out. I like the ones that are more black and white than just straight up all black. That one's perfect. And I'm just going to tie this one right here. I'll add some more when I come back around. So here's a couple from earlier. I don't know how this fly was developed. I do believe it was out on the Hoh River. We're going to have to get Jerry French on for a full-on Pacific Northwest history of steelhead. I need another piece. So Lady Amherst plumes, they retail for about $22 to $25. They are expensive, but when you notice, I'm really only using 1 to 2 actual fibers at a time. It's not that expensive. It goes a long way. It's like getting a nice bottle of scotch and having, you know, a sip here, a sip there. It'll last you a while. Alright, that's pretty much the fly. So what I'm going to do is wrap down, form that head. Anything sticking out, I'll trim off with my micro spring-loaded scissors. Notice how many wraps I can do with this, and I can give it tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. The thread, as you notice, does come off. This is a different brand than Orvis. This is Semperfly. I'm going to cut that. If you can't see, I have a magnetic scissor rack. I'm going to go over with my spring-loaded scissors from an eye surgeon. Just have an eye surgeon come in the shop and trade him flies for scissors. Basically, I just want to be able to make sure that my tippet can go through. I'm going to use the non-slip mono loop to attach this. I'm going to go back and hit it with a little bit of the Wapsi again. Let's give a big round of applause to Brett McRae for suggesting that double loop on there. And that's the fly. So what I'm going to do now is put that down. Matsuo America Black Chrome Circle Up Eye Octopus Hook size 6. Take this out. You can stick this in your vest or sling pack, whatever. I'm going to take one of the loops, pinch it. The reason I don't use Senyo's wire is this is much easier to attach. And I just find it's easier to work with than different color Intruder wire. That's it. That's how you attach it. This is what it looks like from the back. You may pull some of these out. And there you have it. That's my take on the Hoh Bo Spey. Swing that for some steelhead and you should do quite well. What do you think of that? Alright, thanks for watching.